What's going on, y'all? Listen, okay, because some of y'all just don't be getting it. Let me tell you something. Sometimes you gotta switch it up just a little bit. But I'm still here. It's just I turned a different direction, okay? The Leah wall is still there. There you go. I don't know if you can see it. There you go. But I just turned a different direction. That's all. So calm the fuck down. What happened to your wall, bitch? I just turned a different direction. Anyway, so Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, cause I switching some stuff up in here. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. First of all, happy Memorial Day to everyone. I hope you guys had a good day. You know, cookout and all that shit. Don't get too much. You know, some of y'all that knocked off y'all motherfucking diets and shit, but hey, it's understandable. Get your ass back on track tomorrow. Okay, we all on track. I just got off the treadmill, bitch. All right, so come on. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 5 episode. What is this? Episode 9, Free at Last. So we start this off with Jessica Dime going to, you know, some bowling alley or some shit. I don't know what the fuck. And she was meeting up with Young Jock. Okay, first of all, she was supposed to be meeting up with Lil Scrappy. And I'm just gonna be honest. When Jessica Dime be walking, it just seems like she is so uncomfortable because her ass just, it's just like cement is just holding it down. I don't know. The buoyancy is not congruent. You know, it's just not equalized. It's just not. I don't know. It just seems so heavy. Her ass just weighs like all my life I had to fight and struggle. Okay, I have to wade through the water of all this bullshit. That's what her ass feel like. It looks like to me. Okay, but she upset because Scrappy ain't there. He sends out Young Jock, and she trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And basically, he talking about the relationship with Jock, Scrap over there doing some stuff for Bambi and all this shit. Yada yada yada. Moving on from that. Tommy, Tommy, Tommy. I like Tommy. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Tommy is a ratchet ass, hood rat ass bitch, and that's why I fucking like her. I don't like her like, oh, that's my bitch. I like her to look at on TV because she gives me something every fucking time because the bitch is overly fucking dramatic, okay? She is like the new Joseline. She trying to come for Joseline's spot in the ratchet stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not trying to be the queen of the show, but you know what I'm saying? Because when Joseline first came on the scene, we ain't like her either. But we grew to like the bitch. Well, her antics. Well, we just found comedy in her. That's what it is. And I found comedy in Tommy, all right? Stevie J and some nigga, whatever, they trying to do these auditions or whatever for, I guess, a bar, whatever the fuck he finna open up. Some shit he finna open up. So he talking to these women. They coming up there, getting, telling them what he doing, what they doing, and all this stuff. Next thing you know, Tommy rose up in the middle of him talking to this girl from California with the red hair, red or orange hair. I said, is that Margot? Y'all know y'all thought that was her too for a second. I said that's the same bitch, but oh no, they not on this show, this thing. Okay. So she pulls up and she literally just interrupts. I said, first of all, you rude bitch. She walked in like this was her shit. She knew what she was doing. And the way she walked in, I knew she had a game plan, okay? So she walks in, she goes and gives him a hug, and then they go talking. She was like, with Scrap going to jail, it just made me realize I got to get back on my grind and my hustle and stuff. So Stevie, we can work together. I used to rap back in the day. I'm trying to get back in there. I'm an actress. I do this. I'm in the entertainment. I could do anything. I just want to. We can do some stuff together. Do some shit. And so here goes Stevie J like, I ain't know this bitch could rap, but I'm gonna play tit for tat with Joseline. Joseline want to bring around Dawn and all them motherfuckers. So let me do this shit because I know her and Tommy not really kicking it like that. So let me go ahead and see what I can do with her. He was like, what you got? Bitch, Tommy stood her ass up and was like, you can see this and I'll let you be the judge. And she turned around. Mind you, she got on leggings. Okay, the whole outfit ain't nothing but a legging outfit. And I said, if you gonna show that ass off, bitch, you gonna show that body off, make sure you go get a fresh pair of leggings, okay? This bitch had a fucking whole, like, BB gun shots in her ass, right by the crack. I said, fix your clothes, bitch. You trying to be sexy as fuck, but your clothes just trash. I said, it's not working. You just threw off the fucking appeal, Tommy. And then, Stevie was like, I'm going to do this, try to get back at Joseline and stuff like this. I said, y'all trifling. Then another trifling ass people, Scrap and Karlie Red. Oh my God, I like riding your car. Like it runs so smooth. You know, these past days that I've been with Scrap, it's been so wonderful. It's like life who? Life what? Life ain't called me. He ain't said nothing. I don't even know where he at. Maybe life is on what? Life support. I said, oh, how original, bitch. She was like, he ain't claiming Tommy. Fuck Tommy. Fuck Tiara. Bye bye. Shoo shoo. This is all mine. And I was like, you so whipped over a nigga that's finna go in a week, okay? And then he was like, yeah, I like spending time with you because I just had to get away from the norm because these bitches be getting on my nerves. You got Tommy and her over dramatic self, and then this baby mama drama and shit. And it was like, I mean, I had fun with you too, daddy. So what you want to do and all this stuff. He was like, I mean, since you want to tell life everything that was going on, let me be completely honest with you right now, shawty. I'm about to get ready to go do a bid, and I'm going to be down for 5. Serious? For 5 years? It's like every time I find something good, it gets taken away from me. And I'm sitting here like, he said, bitch, if you want to go, you can go. I'm just saying. I said, Karlie, get the fuck on out of here. That's karma coming back for your ass because you shouldn't have touched that man in the first damn place. That nigga, Scrap was up here trying to lock down his books, okay? He tried to lock down these hoes. So he got 3 different sources who gonna put some money on their books, on his books. Because you know damn well, Tommy and Tiara, they talk all that bullshit. They still gonna be on his shit. Mm-hmm. Oh, God, that is so fucking funny. Okay, listen. Fuck that. Don and Joseline meet up, all right. They talking about they bullshit or whatever. Here go Joseline. So, I'm in up with Don, and I am so excited for the news that I gotta tell her, okay? Bitch, let me tell you this. I was looking for my contract, right? For this whole time. Stevie would not give me my contract. I have not let eyes on my contract in like 3 years. And so I was up in the house and I was looking for my contract and I just went in the room and I was going through the closet and I went under the bed and guess what I found under the bed? I found a briefcase. And you know what the fuck I did? I opened up that briefcase and what did I see? My contract. I said, Mona, stop playing with me. So you mean to tell me for 3 years she couldn't find that contract for nowhere in the world, and all of a sudden on season 5 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta episode, what is this, 9, she all of a sudden finds it underneath the bed so easily in a goddamn briefcase? Bitch, you got me stuttering over my words because I can't believe this shit. She said, and bitch, let me tell you something. I look at it and my contract is over with, okay? It's over and done with, and I'm done with Stevie. I said, why don't y'all just go ahead and part ways? Don is like, so what? What if he don't do nothing and let you go or whatever? She was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to have to bring my lawyers. I'm going to bring my lawyers and we're going to do this shit. And I was like, so you mean to tell me Stevie was still taking money from her? Even though the contract was over, Stevie knew what the fuck he was doing. But I don't even care about that. Like, girl, whatever. She excited. She was like, I'm going to bring my lawyers and we going to cease and desist. I said, bitch, cease and desist. I said, I didn't even know you knew what that meant, let alone try to pronounce it. A for effort, bitch. But anyway, moving on from that, what's his name? Ernest, he sat down with Charlene because he having some issues with Mama D. And basically, she trying to get to the bottom of why the hell Mama D acting the way that she doing. He did reveal that she got an alcohol problem. And then kind of found out he said that she bipolar and an alcoholic. It was like when I first met her, she was doing good. She was a nurse at the hospital, whatever, one of the top nurses and stuff like that. Then she got into this really bad accident where she had to get her hip replaced and, her knee got fucked up, had to get surgery on her knee, and then she became dependent, and that wasn't what she was like. And then, the alcoholism come in, and then she get involved with him, and then that's when she started pimping and selling drugs and stuff to take care of the family, shit like that. And so basically, Mama Charlene was like, well, maybe y'all need to go and see a therapist or something like that. Ernest was like, I'm already finna sit down and see if she'll sit down with past the couch and talk with some counseling. Fine. Tommy, motherfucking Tommy. Screen come back on tonight. And Roots. Damn. Okay, I got some stuff to watch tonight. Tommy, motherfucking Tommy. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Like I said, I like this bitch. This bitch gives me giggles, okay? because this bitch is so fucking extra. She was like, you know, I'm in Scrap's car. He let me use the car to do this and do that. But if you're going to let somebody use the car, why don't you clean that shit out, okay? And that's what I don't get. You niggas and you bitches, y'all be doing y'all shit, but y'all get caught up in the stupidest ways, all right? You gonna take a bitch out and you gonna keep the receipt up in the motherfucking car. She found the car, and I said, Scrap, you fucking with a bitch like fucking Tommy. You know how this trick is already, okay? So you should have went and got that bitch detailed, okay? Down to the very last length, okay? That's what you should have did before you let her get your car. And then, New York Girls TV finally put up the season finale. God damn, y'all took like a month to put the new episode up. Anyway, so she go up to the house and she was like, what the fuck is this? He come down like, what's going on? What's going on? What you mean what's going on? What's this? What's this? He was like, what you talking about? Here I am chilling up in the crib and here come Tommy like she the motherfucking police banging on the door. Bitch, what the fuck is your problem? She was pushing on him and then he grabbed her and pushed her too. She said, oh, hold up. Don't do that shit to me. He was like, well, bitch, you touched me too. I said, you know what? Both of y'all was wrong, but you did touch him, and I'm not here for motherfuckers putting hands on each other. But bitch, stop it, okay? Y'all gotta stop it. You gonna act like a nigga, sometime gonna get punched like one. No, and I ain't here for domestic violence, but you know, you better be glad that's all he did, because he could have slapped the shit out of you, because you was doing a little bit too much, Tommy. But bitch, I understood. She said... She said, who the fuck is this? What you doing with Karlie Red? He was like, what? He said, ain't no denying this shit. And he told her the paper. He was like, Karlie motherfucking Lewis, you spent 3 days in the hotel. She was 3 days in this hotel. It was like, what the fuck this paper doing up in your car? Maybe because the person who it belongs to left it there. Also, you gonna try to play me dumb, bitch? You think that just because you finna go to jail, you can be free to do whatever the fuck it is that you want? He was like, bitch, I ain't got time for this shit, all right? I really fucking don't. Next thing you know, out of nowhere, it was like Hidden Monkey, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon or some shit, because this little bitch just jumped up like, and just pounced on this ass. I said, Tommy, what the fuck are you doing? I was dying laughing. I said, how she get so hype off of that like that? She got hype on that bitch and just pounced and clapped on to him. I said, get your ass whooped, Tommy. You better be glad these motherfucking cameramans there, because you playing too many games, bitch. So, Scrap, the security is always on deck when Tommy is around. Because security, it was like 3-4 of them motherfuckers trying to hold her ass down. Amber Rose got a new show. Okay, June 17th. But anyway... listen, Tommy went through 15 different emotions, okay? She was like, so you fucking Karlie. Tell me you fucking Karlie. I'm not fucking that bitch, okay? Scrap was like, you know what? I told her a lie because the truth will hurt her, you know, at this point in time. And I'm tired of dealing with Tommy and her antics and all this stuff. And she was like, that's cool. That's cool. You're not fucking her. But you know what? I'm finna go work with Stevie J and your uncle, and we finna go do something, and I'm finna let him eat it, and I'm finna let him hit it, I'm finna let him put these legs to the chandelier and all this shit. And then I'm gonna go down the line and let all your friends do this and do that. He was like, alright, go ahead and do that. While you do that, you can get the fuck out of here and you can do whatever the fuck it is that you want. I'll call the homies up and let them know that you on your motherfucking way. Tommy went from being pissed the fuck off to being like, I'm going to be condescending and sarcastic, okay, because that ain't working, to when he didn't give her the answer that she wanted, she went to being this. You know, I'm going to do this to him and I'm going to let him do that. Okay, bet. Why you got to do this? Because I don't want to do Stevie. I said... Tommy, you gotta stop. The shit was so funny to me. I don't know why, it was just hilarious because the way she popped back, and then she went from being pissed off to being sarcastic to crying to being pissed off again because she tried to attack him again, and then she was crying again. I said, get the fuck out of here, Tommy. And then we get this scene with Mama D and Ernest. They look like extras from a black sport exploitation movie from back in the day. That's what the fuck they look like. And that's what Mama D talks like. She really do. Mama D came up in there Now, I don't know nothing about weave and shit like that, but I know your parts ain't supposed to be that wide. Okay, why was that part so wide? I said, is that an invisible part? If it's so, I can clearly see it visibly. All right, something is not right with that. And then, you talking about how the king can't upstage the queen, and, you need to get it up and all this stuff, and, you need to please me in the bedroom, and you need to get a job and all this stuff. And, girl, how you expect a nigga that just got out of jail to be so financially stable for you? Like, the motherfucker still trying to get his life on track. I said that made no fucking sense. And then they made up at the end. The pastor just looking like, okay. Tommy said, you fucking that old bitch, you gonna fuck around and get worms. Why? Why? Y'all be going in on Karlie. Karlie is an old asshole. But Scrap want to take her out on a date. And he was like, let me tell you something before we sit down. Let me tell you what had happened. See, what had happened was Tommy comes over to the house and she got this receipt with your name on it, the room service. Do you know this bitch tried to fight me? Like, and here goes Scrap. I'm trying to ask her, if she strategically left that receipt there or what, or she trying to blow up the spot. Karlie like, how dare he ask me this stuff, if I left this there. I ain't never got to leave no receipts or nothing there, nobody car or nothing, okay? You the one that told me that you weren't fucking around with Tommy or Tiara. So what is it to me? And she was like, you know what? What's the issue? Because now it seemed like you got me up in this a triangle, and that's not what I wanted to be in. I said, bitch, shut the fuck up, because you knew what the fuck was happening. Okay, you knew what was going on. You knew that man was still messing around with these other two girls, and probably some other people, and I said, Karlie, shut up. And so he was like, I ain't got nothing with her. I'm still with you. You want to kick it, we can still kick it. And she fell for that shit. But Mimi goes and, calls up Joseline to meet her somewhere because she got some news. She want to tell her face to face about Stevie J wanting to stay at her house and all that stuff. So Joseline comes in with her furor, and she comes in, she got this sparkly number on, so overly done. And then here gonna Mimi, oh, you look cute. She was like, for real, I just stood this on. She was like, I'm free, I'm so excited, but I gotta tell Mimi some stuff that's going on. And Mimi they sit down, and then it was like, you want a drink? Oh my God, girl. Like, hey, girlfriend. But oh my God, yeah. Bring the waitress over here. Waitress, I need a drink. Like right now, like, where's she at with this drink? I said, Joseline, if you don't get your acting ass, she thought she was in drama class, okay? She really did, And basically, she sat there and told her that, where this bitch at with my drink? I said, y'all so rude. Basically, that Stevie got another baby that he been paying child support for, and I heard he went back to court for the back child support that he owed, like that $1 million or whatever. But she was like, I don't know, I can't deal with this. Like, he got another baby. I said, if y'all don't stop playing with this storyline, stop it, Mona. So Joseline, she basically crying. Here go Mimi. Never in a million years did I ever expect that I would be sitting down here feeling sorry for Joseline. Like, we both don't want this man. This man has been lying to me, and he wants to lay on my couch, and he hasn't even told me the full truth about everything what was going on. Now it's making sense. Mimi, I don't know what to do. I don't want to do nothing with him. Remember that girl? They said that, Promise Meg or some shit, that stripper, she said that she had his baby, and then he said they had an abortion, but come to find out, she really got the baby. And then it's another girl that he paying child support for. And I be like, I seen the checks, I seen the oil, and it's like he coming out of my checks with stuff, because Stevie is broke. Stevie ain't got no money. He paying $200,000 and all this stuff. I said, damn, Joseline, get the fuck out of here. Mimi like, bitch, now you don't want him. You trying to throw that nigga back off on me? The hell no. I feel for you, bitch, but no. And then all of a sudden, that whole scene went bad, and here come Karlie at her Playboy thing, and Tommy walks the fuck up. I said, oh shit, brace yourself, bitch. Tommy looks like Duchess. No, she looked like what Duchess would look like if she would keep her lips moist. That's what she do. She really do. She could, and if she could open up her eyes like this. Because y'all know Duchess will sit there like this all the time. If she put her lip in her mouth You know, just suck it in just a little bit, and she put some, you know, Carmex, some simple lip gloss or whatever, spit, you know. She'll look halfway decent. They do kind of favor each other. So, you know, Tommy was like, "What's up, bitch?" And then that it just went downhill from there. So you up there fucking Scrap? Why would I tell you that I'm fucking Scrap if I'm not fucking Scrap? Like, why do you need to know? You not him. He don't claim you. Okay, well, if you know that he don't claim me or whatever, only a bitch that's riding his dick will know that. But you know what? You's a fucking old ass hoe. You just want to be like Tommy. Oh, I want to be a hoe like Tommy. I said, Karlie, take that out your mouth and reverse that and rephrase that sentence because girl, you got a track record, okay? You put it out there that you something of a hoe, okay? Tommy said, bitch, what type of example you set for your daughter? You ain't even with your daughter. Do you even know what your daughter look like? Or all this shit. I said, what y'all going these low blows? It was funny as shit to me. Because then she was like, well, fuck this, bitch. Let me tell you something. I'm getting with Stevie J and I'm going in the studio. You know what? That's something that you never been able to do. And I said, so the fuck what? She was like, but that's his uncle. That's his uncle. Not by blood, bitch. And then at this point in time, who gives a fuck? You fucking around, I can fuck around too. That's what's the thought mentality. Next thing you know, I don't even know what Karlie said, but Tommy got up on top of that counter, okay? And was about to come and wreck shot on fucking Karlie's face. But Karlie would start bossing up real tough because security came and pulled Tommy back. And Karlie was just like, what you gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing. Hell no, she ain't gonna do nothing. And she tried to throw something at her. And I was like, bitch, you only did that because Tommy, security got Tommy. That's it. But that was Love and Hip Hop, y'all. Y'all tell me how y'all feel about it. And I will see you guys later.